Optimal foraging refers to the situation that individuals of species find themselves in when selecting the types of food to process and consume. Optimal foraging theory suggests that individuals will choose the most energetically favourable item when considering their foraging options. For example, what size of fish should I put my energy into catching? Will that get me the highest amount of energy gain versus the lowest amount of energy expenditure? Individuals, when they are foraging, don't want to be in an energy deficit, expending more energy finding or catching their food compared to what they get from it. Foraging individuals can use many different cues when deciding on where to forage and where to collect the most energy-dense food. Social group, for example, the transfer of information between individuals, like what could be seen in these flocking wading birds, for example. Where are my friends and associates foraging? Can be useful pieces of information that individuals use to direct their foraging activity in a particular location. As the environment changes, for example, raising and lowering of water levels with the tides, for example, so individuals will have to move or alter their foraging patterns because some foraging areas might become less accessible and therefore foraging within them is going to be less optimal. It will be more profitable to move to another area where foraging may be easier, even though movement requires energy expenditure. Some species may possess physical or behavioural adaptations that allow them to forage optimally within a particular habitat. Here's an example of optimal foraging in a little egret, a small species of heron that we find here in the UK. Little egrets have bright yellow feet on the end of dark black legs, and they use these bright yellow feet to their advantage when they are hunting for small fish. By waving the yellow foot around, they either attract or disturb small fish, amphibians and other tasty treats in the river or stream that they're foraging in, which make them more obvious to the egret and therefore easier for the egret to catch. By wading up and down a particular stretch of river or stream, the egret gets an idea of the density of prey within that area and therefore can make a judgment whether or not to stay foraging in that area or move to another location. The density of available food and the amount of energy within that food will also affect optimal foraging decisions. How easy is that energy to extract from the food? How much processing is required and how much time expended on foraging behaviour? This goldfinch is foraging on thistle seeds. There's a high density of them, as you can see on the plants in the video. But the thistle seeds themselves are relatively low in energy. Providing that the density of thistle seeds is high and the goldfinch doesn't have to travel far to get to them, this would still be optimal foraging even though the energy in the seed is low. Being clever also helps with optimal foraging. Corvids, like these jackdaws, are known for their intelligence. By following deer herds, the jackdaws can seek out the parasites that live on the deer, and therefore that gives the jackdaws a highly nutritious, energy-dense meal for very, very limited effort. For many species, predator density and the need to be vigilant will also affect foraging time because it's disruptive to foraging patterns. Look out for the impacts of vigilance on foraging behaviour in this flock of grey-lag geese. Those adults that are parents and have goslings to look after, the family for example at the centre back of this video, are spending more time vigilant compared to foraging than adults without goslings. The pasture that the geese are foraging on needs to be of high quality so that the adults can still gain sufficient energy even though they're having to spend a greater amount of time being vigilant. Being in a social group can also offset any of these differences between vigilance and foraging. The more pairs of eyes that are around to be vigilant, can share the load of anti-predatory behaviour so everybody can spend a decent amount of time collecting food. I hope this video has provided you with some key examples of what optimal foraging means in practice, how animals go about collecting their food to maximise energy consumption and minimise energy expenditure. They have to consider the physical and social environment, where they are foraging and what they are foraging on, as well as any potential predation risk that can be disruptive to their optimal foraging activities. Thank you.